There's EJ. Let's get EJ up here. And
Hi. Okay.
hi there.
You
Well,
have no idea
yeah,
what I'm doing with
good,
this.
good to see you.
Hi.
Nice to see you. Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
We've been chatting online. I didn't know whether you were a girl or a guy.
Oh, that's the beauty of it with initials like that.
Well, you've given yourself away now.
Unfortunately, I'm trying to turn this around. I'm on a phone. I'm trying to turn the camera so that you can see.
Well, there is a button. It's a little gear mechanism, I think. If you punch that, it'll reverse. There you go. That was. Oh,
nope, that just turned it off.
Yeah, that turned it off. That wasn't it.
Yeah. It doesn't have. It's unusual. It doesn't have that in the settings. Here we go. Here we go. Facing front, facing back.
That's it.
Try that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right.
There we go.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Okay, let's get up close. Oh, how nice. That is pretty.
I've got a little bit of leaf litter in the back.
On Discord. What a great tank.
It's my masterpiece. I've been basically taking everything that I've learned through mistakes since October and kind of combined it into this one. And I've been working on it for 2 weeks. Just taking my time with the hardscape. Look, there's baby shrimp, if you can see them.
Oh, look at that. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Yeah, I had a bunch of red cherries that accidentally bred in another tank. Yeah. And I was like, well, I've added the snails. I'm getting a lot of weird stuff growing on there, which is natural. But I thought, I need to start putting something in there that will start eating it. Do you see that little red shrimp that's eating something on my moss?
Yes, Yes.
Yeah, he's eating something on my moss.
Yeah.
It's just, I think, a little bit of diatoms that, the Christmas moss just collects everything.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, and like half of these plants, I don't even know what they are. I just sort of grabbed them. I kind of started just going to Petco, and they have a bunch of plants in there that are loose that they end up throwing out, and so I would take them. I would just take them. Some of them were sad looking, and I would just try to see if I could grow them back, and it worked. Look, here's my one tiny little corkscrew. It's all alone. The only one I have. So that's what I've been working on. But
I love it. Now, what kind of fish? What kind of fish you got in there?
I haven't gotten any fish yet. I've just got snails and baby shrimp I just added today. There's a ton of little microfauna all over the glass, paramecia, copepods.
Yep.
I put scuds and blackworms in there. They were playing around last night. These scuds are nocturnal, so I mean they go crazy, especially when they don't have any natural predators. What?
What kind of fish do you want to do?
I'm obsessed with nanofish, micro predators. Okay. Absolutely obsessed. I've got 13 pea puffers in another tank. I don't know if I'll be able to put them in this one because I want so many other nanofish in here, like scarlet baddis. I don't know. I was kind of want to get my hands on a pygmy sunfish, a couple of them. They would have their own little spot here, and then I would do something like it's kind of like a kid in a candy store. I have chili rasboras, I have CBDs, and my
embers.
The what?
Embers.
I haven't kept embers. I wasn't as I have green neon tetras.
Oh, they're pretty fish.
They are. I like them better than cardinals and regular neons. They just, yeah.
Yep.
I like the small versions. What?
They're much hardier. They're very hardy fish.
I found that actually. The information online it's just crazy. I've been doing this since October, and I've just been researching the heck out of everything that I'm interested in. And it's crazy what you read on the internet and then what you try and experiment with.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's completely different results. Oh, look, here's a scud.
I've got phoenix tetras too. Just a few of them.
Yeah. I was looking at phoenix or chilies, and I don't know. I just really like the chilies. Phoenixes are beautiful. Some people can't tell the difference between them.
Also, the Suda McGill.
Suda McGill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a pretty one. It's a
Ignore that. That's my
a rainbow. It's really not a rainbow. Uh-oh. Here we go. Now we're in trouble.
Yeah, this is I turned my back patio into my my experiment room. Right. So that's my culture. I just threw a bunch of snails in there, and I have scuds everywhere. Like, it doesn't matter what I do, there's scuds.
Nice.
And there's blackworms in there, and occasionally I grow. I mean, there's it's a moss that just its algae just keeps growing. Occasionally I just like grab a bunch of it and pull it out. But I mean, so far they're just pretty happy in there. I find that the bladder snails do better when you have a big group of algae growing.
Right.
They, if you don't have that, for some reason, I think, I'll be honest with you, I know it's a bad word, but I know I have planaria in there as well. And they do eat some things, but if you have it all working together as an ecosystem, it is what it is. You want to go natural, you're going to have planaria.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they are controllable. A betta is a great way to control them.
Oh, yes, I do love bettas. Oh, yeah, I do love bettas. But how I accidentally got into I guess you could say a food web was somebody gave me a bunch of these. And that's frog bed.
Looks like Salvania.
The what?
Salvania.
Oh, that's what they call it, Salvania? I don't know. They call it frog bed. But
frog bed. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They and it just exploded, and so I don't know what it was. I was just thinking I would gather them from the tanks, and then I would kind of just throw them in. Hold on, this is seriously a mess. My significant other thinks I'm crazy.
Where do you live? You're outdoors there.
Yeah, I live actually in the middle of Houston, Texas, in the middle of the inner city. So this is definitely not popular.
Wow.
But
nice.
I would threw all my excess stuff in here, and then for some reason, it kind of builds up. It's old aquarium water. It's composting.
Right.
And I dug a bunch of stuff out, and then the next thing I noticed was there's a bunch of stuff in there that's like microfauna. And next thing you know, I'm studying half of it and taking like turkey basters and looking at it under a microscope. Here's my main green water culture.
Yeah. Huh.
That one happened because I was growing I got a bunch of plants, and I was growing a lot of them outside. And so this one, I had a bunch of plants in there, including water sprite, which is a big, and then I took them all out, and immediately green water happened.
Yeah.
And I think there's an actual chemical process for it. So I know you can't see it, but for fun, I stuck a bunch of Daphnia in there to see if they would, I don't know, die or live. They're in there.
I love that green water.
Oh, they do. That's why I have it, because I have Daphnia cultures. And I don't know why some folks think they're hard to keep. These things, I tried to create a green water culture in here, and I accidentally put a bunch of Daphnia in there. There's a bunch of them in there somewhere playing around.
I'll clear it right up. I love to. Yeah, I like the soda bottles. That's cool.
Yeah, well, it's actually water. It's RO water.
Okay.
Just like I said, I've been just experimenting with a bunch of different stuff on the internet. This has actually been here for a couple of days. This was Infusoria. So I took a old sponge filter and I squeezed it, and then I put it in here along with a couple of boiled cucumbers and aquarium water, and it turned green overnight. And apparently that's what they said is called an Infusoria culture.
Right.
It went green faster than any of my other experiments.
Huh. Nice.
So this is after 2 days, which doesn't normally happen like that. But yeah, and then you can't see it, but there's a bunch of little micro, like they look like little dots and they're just traveling all around in here. And you can see them because it's like just white gravel that I picked up.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, very cool.
Yeah, and some of my plants that I grew immersed. That's, yeah.
You got lots of food for fish. Now you need fish.
I got more than I know what to do with. In fact, my husband thinks I'm crazy, so I just feed him and tell him that I love him, and he shuts up then.
That's good. Yeah, I think nanos are the right way to go. That'll work really well.
I haven't
put a list together. Pretty much everything you've mentioned, I either have or can get pretty easily. Chilies have not been available for a few weeks, but they will be back.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've only been doing this since October, but it seems like there's some things that are cyclical. At least some fish are more available at certain other times. I mean, I haven't been.
Yeah, that's right. It's absolutely right. Yeah.
Because at one point I was looking for puffers, couldn't find any, and then next thing I know, everybody's got puffers. And then somebody the other day tried their hand at puffers, didn't work, and so they gave me 7 of them. Apparently, 2 of them he accidentally bred.
What kind?
Pea puffers. Oh, nanofish.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
Nano. Yeah, I've got 13 of them in a tank right now, just a holding tank, because I kind of broke apart. In order to build that 75, I just broke apart everything and just, put all the other fish in holding tanks, like this one. It's not your permanent home, babies, I swear. I don't know. Can you see that, bro? No?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some rummy noses in there, which I love. I love the rummy noses.
Nice fish, yeah.
Yeah, they're probably the largest fish other than a beta that I have.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, they're just kind of hanging out there for right now. I found that pothos and Philum. Well, that's not Philum.
Yeah.
I've got a little bit of please don't think it's fish abuse. I've got a little bit of water evaporation, but they're fine. They're fine. They're working. It's just for a short while. Just for a short while.
No, it looks wonderful. You're doing amazingly well. Just real impressive.
I'm fortunate to live in a climate that just loves growth, and
yeah, I think you're right. Yep.
It's been good too. I kind of got into this because my daughter developed type 1 diabetes. She's 13, and my son, who's 12, he went blind. Rare genetic disorder. So it's been a little stressful.
Holy cow.
Yeah, so instead of turning to drugs and alcohol, I turned to fish.
Yeah, really, I hear you.
It's probably about the same amount of money, so.
Yeah, probably.
But it's been really, really cool. And I don't know, I've made some small scapes. Okay, let me go back to, ignore my house. It's an absolute mess. It always is on a Friday night. It just is. But this is my big display tank. And I broke down a lot of your
camera. Yeah,
the what?
Sideways. Turn your camera. Yeah.
Is that good? All right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's projecting sideways.
Oh. Yeah. I'm decent at technology, but how things look, I'm just on one side. I don't know how to handle it
that's an enormously impressive tank. The variety that you have in there and the effective growth really is wonderful.
I don't do high tech. I just, I saw that. I saw what a lot of people were suggesting that, and I think I need to replant that. I turned the. I've got some red rooters, by the way, in there, as well as I've got 3 water lettuce that somebody gave me because I gave him some of my pygmy corridoras, and so he just gave me a bunch of plants. But and if you want to look at the substrate, it looks like it's all sand, but it's not. What I did is I put about 2 inches of substrate, and you know, put a bunch of stuff in there. I didn't have bone meal, but and blood worms. I just put a bunch of stuff in the soil, and then I capped it with place sand after I rinsed it. But what I did is I made sure that I kind of, how do I describe this? I took one of those aquascaping tools and I made a separation between the glass and the soil, and then I put sand in between. And then I made it a little bit like, this is probably about 2-inch cap, and this is like closer to a 4-inch cap, but the soil is pretty much all the same.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it's kind of follows a lot of what I would watching. I mean, I got into this because I saw some beautiful stuff like Serpa Design, the flower horn. That MD guy from Australia. I mean, it's some gorgeous stuff. I mean, keep in mind, it all looks beautiful, but the long-term maintenance and other things, obviously, you know, there's more to it. And I'm not going to do the high-tech thing. I don't want to do it. I like making it easy.
I don't see why you would want to. This is so successful. It's really impressive.
So the lighting that I use is actually, you know, those cheap Amazon full spectrum lighting. Oh, that one floated.
Yep,
oh well.
Yep.
Yeah. So I can't do it with this one because this one doesn't have a proper lid. But the smaller tanks usually come with like a black lid. And so what I was doing is I was attaching or DIYing these plant full spectrum lighting to like the lids. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've turned into quite the handyman too with all of this.
You.
And I just kind of, I guess you could say DIY, jerry-rigged, I don't know what the term is these days, and made it, but at the same time, it's all about making it still look pretty too. So,
yeah.
And they just, the plants really like the lighting. So I'm like, huh, $15 on Amazon as opposed to $200.
I hear you.
I can work with this.
You bet.
Mm-hmm. But this replaced my old 55, which was my old centerpiece, but 55 wasn't enough. I wanted more plants. So that's why I have the 75. But at the beginning of this year, when I found out that my daughter had diabetes, we were in the hospital for like, you know, a week and a half. And my husband did not feed any of my fish. In fact, he didn't want to. I love him to pieces, but I mean, he thought I was crazy. So he still does, but he accepts me and loves me. But he didn't feed the fish, obviously, while we were gone. And then I come back and the fish are fine and they're happy.
You bet.
And they were just chilling out. And actually, I have a scarlet batis in a 5-gallon with blue dream shrimp, and there's a bunch of microfauna in there, like a bunch of microfauna. And yep. I don't think I've fed him in months.
You probably don't need to.
He's a beautiful red too. I don't want to go back there because, like I said, I took all the tanks down. So maybe I'll come back up on here, and you know, when I have everything I want in here, then I'll work on other things again as well. But this was the one I've been focusing on for the last 2 weeks.
Well, you're doing really well. I'm very impressed. That's a fun tank.
It is. Circle of life here. It brings me a lot of joy.
Right, exactly. That's right. Yep.
Yeah, I've been trying to get the ammonia out of there. It's still got trace amounts, but things in there are flourishing. So it's like I have the water test that tells me one thing.
Well, and there are different kinds of ammonia. With that many plants in there, the plants are they're absorbing ammonia directly.
Yeah, I was reading that. I was reading that they actually like ammonia better than nitrogen.
Right.
It's
so
scary.
You got a little in there. That tank is creating it in order to feed the plants. So it's nothing to worry about.
Huh. Okay, because then I can start adding fish then.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, now I'm at a dilemma. That's where I'm at right now is what do I want to put in here? I have small fish, but I mean, this is my main display tank. If I put the pea puffers in here, because I've got 13 of them now, that kind of limits me.
It does.
It
because they're
does.
real nippers.
Yeah. So they were in a 29 gallon. I had 5 of them in a 29 gallon, and I had chili rasboras, a golden hill stream loach, 4 autosynclus, and a mono shrimp, believe it or not. And oh yes, and coolie loaches. Coolie loaches actually were perfect symbiotic because they would eat, because pea poppers would pick at the snails I would feed them, because snail culture, and they can kind of they're messy eaters, and they just sort of leave decaying dead things lying around, and the coolie loaches would come in and clean up after them.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I would recommend to anybody who wants to keep pea puffers, make sure you got coolie loaches in there too. They're perfect.
Excellent. Yep. Absolutely.
It's a great relationship.
Yeah.
And I was finding that the pea puffers were getting along well, even with the chili rasboras. I mean, everything I read on the internet said that these guys would, I mean, they're really cool to watch, though. They're like velociraptors when they get together. Like, seriously, they hunt like velociraptors. And they just told me, I mean, not the internet just told me not to do it, but I'm finding that it was working as long if it was heavily planted. Everybody had their space.
Well, see, the other thing is you've got a food web there.
I do.
Have continuing food supply. Those fish are not going to start starving.
Oh no, no.
That's the point where they attack other fish, when they're starving.
Oh,
so you're
okay.
not going to have starvation in there.
Well, I'm pretty sure the pea puff, I put a bunch of scuds in there, but I'm pretty sure the pea puffers ate them all, but that's okay because these things.
They're not going to eat them all. There'll be enough escape and breed. It'll be a continuing population.
Man, these things really do breed fast, let me tell you. But that's part of the reason why I really love nano micro predators. They're just so cool to watch.
You bet.
And then that you can kind of see their little different personalities. But yes, like I was saying, I went from 5 to 13 pea puffers, and I'm not quite sure if I should put them back in the 29 gallon or not.
Well, you've made the point. It's gonna limit your other options, but it certainly would be dramatic, and you'll be able to try other things. I would go for it. Absolutely.
Okay. Well,
this is wonderful. 3G wants to come up.
Yes.
Let me say goodbye to you. Is there anything else you want to?
Nope, that's it. If I get another tank going with the pea puffers, I'll show you how it works out. But thank you for letting me be on here. It was really fun.
I love it. And thank you for coming up.
You're quite welcome. I'll listen in.
Bye now.
Bye.
Hey, 3G.
Hey, Father Fish. How are you doing this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. I was enjoying her tanks. It's beautiful.
Oh, isn't it wonderful?
It's
really the variety of plants in there is just remarkable.
I'm ashamed to follow her.
I hear you. I know. Me too.
Well, this is my favorite Father Fish style tank.
Oh, love it. Is that guppies?
No, those are red-tailed Dalmatian platies.
Oh, okay. Oh, sure enough.
And there's Pandagara, Panda Cories, bamboo shrimp.
Wow. It's a pretty good variety of plants.
There's a few in there. I haven't had it set up too long. I mean, as a lot of people have had, but it's growing in pretty good for me.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Nubius and Vals and Wisterias, swords.
Yeah.
All the easy stuff. I'm the easy guy.
Java fern. Yeah, that's right. I'm for that.
I was just I was waiting before she came up, and I just kind of hung around just to, maybe somebody wanted to see a different tank.
Yeah, real nice.
I'm gonna be ordering some least killifish from you. You still have them? You still have them in stock?
I do, and I'm gonna be getting some more. I've got a wholesaler wants to try them, so I'm gonna try to get a couple of hundred of them.
Oh, great, great. Okay. All right. Well, let me let's see. I got one more tank I'll show you right quick.
Oh, good.
This one hasn't grown in quite as good, but it's getting started.
Oh, yeah. Do you have pea gravel on it? What is that?
This tank I picked up on Marketplace. A guy gave it to me, and to be honest with you, this was what was in it. I have no idea what it is.
Oh, you didn't change it. Okay.
I didn't change it. I didn't change the gravel. I did put dirt under it.
Did you? Oh, good for you. Yeah, it looks like a pea gravel. That's nice. I like it. You could add some sand to it if you find that you're getting too much organic material in the water. It looks like you're getting some tannins, which is good.
Yeah, there is. There's a pretty substantial piece of wood over here. And then I guess it may be coming from the soil also.
I'm sure it is. Yeah, it may not be a problem. If it becomes a problem, just add some sand.
Got guppies.
It looks great. Everything looks healthy and happy.
How you like the Java trees?
Oh, that is cool. That is cool. Funny.
There's guppies, white clouds, celestial pearl danio, chili rasbora, ember tetras, lots of nano fish.
Oh, a nice selection of fish in there. What type of tank is that?
That's a 40 breeder.
That's one of my favorite tanks. I
Yes,
love
sir.
the depth.
Yes, sir, it is. I love a 40 breeder.
Yep.
Got a
Mine's
few.
so dark you can't see through it hardly.
You know, Greg the guppy guy's got a few guppies in there.
Well, all right. Nice.
Well, good deal, Father Fish. I'll jump down and make room for somebody else. I don't know if you got anybody else in the wings, but I just wanted to come up and say hi and ask you about the killifish, mainly the least.
Yeah, I do have those, so be happy to come out to you. Thanks for coming up, 3G.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you very
yes, sir.
much.
Have a good evening.
Bye for now.